Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Embracing Your Essence on Lilydale Radio, and I am Colleen Vanderzyden, the host of this show. And today we are going to be talking about what do you really want? And it's going to be a fun show, lots of good ideas to help you figure out what you really do want and see what's blocking you, and some ideas to help you move forward. So as you are joining in, please do say hello. And while you're joining in, I will go and do all the details I always do. LilydaleAssembly.org is the website, and Lilydale Assembly Incorporated is the official Facebook page. Our summer season begins June 19th. We have so many people coming from all over the place doing amazing workshops, etc. And if you've never been to Lilydale, you really should come here because the grounds are beautiful and it is so peaceful with very special energy. So hello, we have Dale here. Hello, Dale. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Amy and Kara. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And as I said, I am Colleen Vanderzyden. I'm a registered medium here at Lilydale. I'm also a certified empowerment coach. I am the author of this book, Courageously You, Magical Mind Games to Get Unstuck and Reignite Your Joy. And I love helping people. So every Tuesday on my show, I do something. I talk about something that can help you live as your best self. Hence, the name of the show is called Embracing Your Essence, embracing who you really are. And it's fun to do, and I talk about all sorts of awesome things. So let's see. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Hi, Lori Lynn. Nice to see you as well. And hi, Martin. And hi, Jade. And yes, Lauren, I am doing much better. So I do want to thank you all for your support and kindness as I was dealing with kidney stones for the past week. It has been quite an adventure. As usual, we have adventures for so many things. As of this moment, I am stable and I have no pain. So that's why I'm here. And besides, I needed to see you guys. I didn't see you last week because I was teaching a class before those kidney stones hit. So anyway, tonight we are going to be talking about what do you really want? And it's so much fun to think about that. So I'll give you a couple ideas to help you get clarity on that, figure out what might be blocking you, some ideas to help you move forward. And we will also should have time to do some mini soul readings. And we should also have some time to answer some questions. So if you have some questions, feel free to ask, personal guidance or about what I'm talking about or whatever, basically. And just make sure you're on my Facebook page, Colleen Vanderzyden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. That is so I can see your comments. Okay. And so we'll go from there. So we'll talk a little bit and then we'll go from there. At the very top, if you haven't gotten yet the freebie, my little free gift for you, The Empowered Path to Inner Peace, 9 Ways to Create Inner Peace Even in Chaos. There's a link at the top and it is free for you. And it's a nice little ebook. So if you're looking for more peace, that can help. Believe me. So hi, Carrie. Thank you. I am glad I'm feeling better myself, and we're hoping it stays that way. And that's lovely. Hi, Heather. Thank you as well. I appreciate you guys. I tell you, I really think all the healing that people sent to me in the last week has really made a huge difference in my physical state as well as my mental and emotional state, because when you're in pain, it's kind of hard to stay positive sometimes. But I'm doing really well, and I'm feeling great today. So we're going with it, and we're just going to have some fun. So let's get to our topic tonight. And I do want to mention one more time, though, so I don't forget. If you're on Lilydale Assembly's page and you think you're going to ask a question at some point or make a comment, or you want to do a mini soul reading later, make sure you get over here to my page so I can see the comments. Okay? Colleen Vanderzyden, Medium and Empowerment Coach. Hi, Donna. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Tina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So tonight we, as I said, are going to talk about what you really want. So what do you really want? And I've talked about something like this before over the past few months, but it's been a little bit of time, and this is a slightly different angle than what I've talked about last time. Sometimes we think we know what we want, right? And other times we don't. Right? So two things going on. Sometimes we think we know, sometimes we don't. Maybe we have a dream or goal and we're working toward it, but it's not working the way we thought it would. So then what happens, right? We start doubting ourselves and we start doubting what we want. Maybe you're feeling so overwhelmed and confused trying to navigate tough situations or this current chaotic energy that's out there, and we just can't get clear about what we want. We know we want something. We know we want more. and we question everything, and we struggle to find the right path. Are you able to relate to this idea, right? Either we know what we want and it's not working, or you haven't been able to figure out what you really want. Yeah, write in the comments if you want to make some comments on that. Dale, my kitten is trying to get at you on my phone. That's funny. Thank you, Lori. So what I like to do is we're going to shake this up a little bit, because we're going to talk first about those things that can block us, because I have found that understanding these really can help us. These are the things that get in the way of us going after what we want, or that seem to be blocking us from figuring out what we really want, even knowing what it is. So many people have been asking me questions like, what's next? What should I be doing next? Have you ever been feeling like this? What should I do next? I hear this all the time. So many people right now are at a crossroads, and we're like, I don't know. Maybe we have too many choices. Maybe we don't have enough choices. There's lots of reasons that we can't quite get clarity on that. We're going to talk about that first. Lori says, I think God knows what's for our highest good, and it's not always what we had wanted. And that's a great point, right? Sometimes we think we know what we want, but maybe it doesn't work. I like to call that God's protection, right? They're protecting us from something. So when we understand what's in our way, it's easier to let go and then move into that energy of dreaming big and figuring out what really is most important to us, what we really want. Why don't we know what we want, right? And if we do know what we want, why can't we get there? What's in our way of knowing or succeeding? And the first thing that tends to affect us is outside influences, right? Other people's expectations, conflicting opinions from other people. Maybe you want to do something and people tell you, you're stupid for wanting to do that, or you'll never have that. It will never happen to you. You'll never get that. Society tells you what success looks like, and what you want doesn't fit that mold. So when we want something, or we're trying to figure out what we want, and they both kind of go together, right? We want something or we don't really know. They go together. What's happening is it's being filtered by these outside influences. Part of your mind, and it's not, you're not doing this intentionally, your mind is just doing this. Part of your mind is saying that what you want is unacceptable. People won't like it. It's not normal. You'll never get it, so why try? So your mind is confused. It might naturally go to what is expected of you rather than what you really want. What others would approve of, it would go to that instead of what you really want. What society implies is the best answer or the best solution or the best option. This programming and conditioning causes us to disconnect from our truth, from our souls. We're not listening to ourselves. We're so used to being focused externally on other people, on meeting their expectations, whether it's implied or stated, that we struggle to turn inward and listen to ourselves. Have you ever experienced that? We don't listen. We don't believe in ourselves. Now, here's the thing. It's not your fault. This has been imposed upon you by programming and conditioning. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay, we have just become disconnected from ourselves. And this is part of the problem when we're going after something we do want or trying to figure out what we really do want in this lifetime. Because of this programming, conditioning in our mind automatically trying to make sure whatever we want or whatever we do fits in with other people's expectations, etc. What ends up happening is when we decide we want something, we tend to dismiss it. We talk ourselves out of it. We talk ourselves out of that goal or going after what we want because we feel like we are unworthy. We don't deserve it. We doubt ourselves. We don't believe we can have what we really want. And this causes us to overthink. We start weighing the pros and cons. You know how it is, right? Should I do this or should I do this? Well, if I do this, this is going to happen. Da, 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 da. If I do that, this is going to happen. And then before we know it, our mind is so confused that we can't do anything. We just can't. And then put on top of that, so many of us, we have a fear of making the wrong choice. What if I do the wrong thing? What if I ruin my whole life? Blah, 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 right? All of this happens. And again, it's not your fault. It happens because these beliefs, these ideas were imposed upon you, and it's become part of the back of your mind, and it's still affecting you. So this is part of the reason why we don't think we know what we want. Now I'm going to backtrack for 2 seconds and just see who else is here and say hello, and then I'm going to get back to it. Hi, Colleen. Nice to be there. Be here. Thank you. Yes, rejection. Rejection is protection. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Michelle. Colleen says, I definitely need to hear this. I am processing whether to downsize, sell my house, travel more, etc. Get an exclusive relationship again as well, right? See what happens, right? Perfect example, Colleen, right? I love your name, by the way. It is, right? Because that's what our mind does. Our mind is trying to figure things out. So I'm going to talk about a couple things tonight that will help us not get so caught up in that, but also recognize what's really happening in our minds and how we can stop it from happening so that we can get more clear on what our next step is. We can get clear on what we really want out of life. Now, here's an interesting one I think you guys are going to enjoy listening to. Many times when people say they don't know what they want, they really do, but it's too scary or seems too hard to do. So what we immediately do is set it aside and try to think of other options. We don't even know we're doing it. We don't know we're doing it. So it's like, okay, so for example, you know that leaving your partner or your job is the best step. Okay, you know it, but you don't like that answer, right? You don't like that answer because the consequences could be difficult, could be challenging. You're going to have some tough conversations, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes, right? So even though part of you knows that that is the right answer, you talk yourself out of it. Even though you're very unhappy, you've been waiting for things to change, and they never do. So your mind, since we've already dismissed the answer, your mind automatically searches for other solutions. So you won't have to make the hard choice. You've been hoping something will happen to make the decision for you. Maybe your partner or manager will decide to leave, right? We always hope something like that will happen. Maybe they'll just do it and then I don't have to do it. They'll make the decision. Sometimes we say to ourselves, well, I'll keep myself busy and just, do my thing and just basically ignore how I'm feeling. Maybe I'll just wait it out. If I wait long enough, maybe it'll fix itself. It'll just fix itself. How many of you are relating to these? I've been here. I've done these things myself, right? We'll just wait it out. And now a big sign that you're unable to make the choice and go after what you really want is when you say, it's not that bad. So part of you knows what the answer it is, and you're going, no, I don't want that answer. So it must be a different answer because I don't want that answer. And then as you're trying to wait for it to sort itself out and get better, you're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So now what you're doing is you're totally dismissed yourself. It means you're not listening to yourself. It means you're not listening to your soul. You're not listening to your truth. You're denying what you know is true. And in the process, it further disconnects you from yourself and your power. And on top of that, just to, add on, right? You continue to be miserable. You're still miserable. So when we think about this, it's really kind of crazy, isn't it? How we do this. I mean, we're human, okay? And again, it's not our fault. It's really not. However, once we start seeing this, it does become our responsibility to make changes if we're not happy with something. Amy, you're literally describing what is happening in my life relationship now. Lisa, oh my, yes. Kylie, glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Yolanda, I am feeling better. Thank you. Yeah, I've been there, you guys. I've done these things. I've done it all. Waiting and waiting and waiting and hoping somebody else makes the decision. It's too hard. I'm not going to do it. Totally knowing what the truth was and ignoring it, denying it, and not listening to myself, right? I knew this. I knew it. Been there, done that, right? Again, there's nothing wrong with us. We're human. We're trying to make the best out of circumstances, right? So here, what I'm going to say now is going to help you. The answer to knowing what you really want and how to get there, okay, how am I going to get there? This is the answer. How am I going to do this? Is to tune into yourself, right? We're always waiting for somebody else to make the choice for us because it's too hard. I get it, right? So what we want to do is tune into ourselves. Shut out the noise of other people's expectations, whether literally said to you or you just in the back of the mind, it's playing back there. Well, if I get a divorce, then what are people going to think of me? Perfect example, right? So shut out that noise of other people's expectations. Shut out the doubts, your own doubts, and instead breathe, right? Breathe, recenter, and ground back into your soul, ground back into your body, ground back into your truth. Okay. It is, sometimes I would say it's easier said than done, but when it comes down to it, what I like to do sometimes and what I've taught some of my coaching clients is to ask ourselves, what would my soul want me to do? Right? Because that way, it's almost like our soul is separate from ourselves, and it's a little bit easier to listen to our souls than it is to us, because if we listen to ourselves, that means we have to make the risk and try to trust ourselves and believe in ourselves and all that stuff. But if I go, what does my soul really want me to do? I can kind of step aside a little bit, and I don't get into that self-judgment or the worry or the fear and everything. So if you know what your answer is, and you can see yourself, right? Going, oh, right, that's what I'm doing. So step back a little bit. Now, we don't have to make decisions right away, right? But we're going to step back and we're just going to go, okay, I need to know what I, myself, really feel. I need to know what is right for me, not what other people think I should do. And part of our problem, right, is we tend to ask everybody else, what should I do? What should I do? And then we get confused, more confused, because we've got too many opinions. Okay, so the next step, okay, and I'm going to go back and explain more of this too. But so we want to go back and find out who we are, reconnect with ourselves, value ourselves, our opinions over everybody else's, right? Tell ourselves the truth. We need to tell ourselves the truth first, right? Then the next step is to trust that the answers will appear. So if you're not sure what to do, you probably have something going on back there, and you probably do now, or your goal is not quite working. We're going to just trust that the answers are going to appear. We don't have to figure it out, because once we move into figuring it out, we think too much. When we think too much, we get confused. So we don't think. We just don't think. We're going to trust it. We're going to allow ourselves to come. If we catch ourselves trying to talk ourselves out of doing something, we remind ourselves to trust. Okay? Then we have to be as patient as possible and remind ourselves that we'll know more soon. We need to listen to ourselves and do what is right for us. This doesn't mean we don't care about other people, etc. But we don't want to live the rest of our lives regretting something because we didn't take action on it, or taking too much time and then we finally take action. Now, I had a relationship quite some time ago that was, I should have ended it sooner, right? I should have, but I was waiting and I did the whole bit. And after it ended, I wished it had happened sooner, because I felt so much better. Better to rip the Band-Aid off and just go and get out of there. So now I know somebody out there is saying, but I don't really know what I want. I really don't know. Okay. And that's okay if you don't really know, because you're going to trust that the answer is going to come. Maybe it's not time for you to know what it is yet. Maybe it's not time for you to know what the next step is. Maybe it's not time for you to know what the next job or partner is. Maybe we just don't know yet. Maybe it's not ready. So because we are human and we do like to do something, sitting around and trusting is a little tricky for us humans here. So we're going to trust, assume the answer is coming, because it will come. It always comes. But our humanness likes to do something. So whether you know what you want to do or don't, this will help you. This is your do thing, the thing to do. Focus on the emotion you want to have. Okay, so you're not sure what you want to do, but you probably have a pretty good idea what emotion you want to have. How do you want to feel? Same thing. You're working on a goal. You've got a dream. You know what you want, but it's not working. Focus on the emotion. It works for both of them. Focus on what you want to have. This is part of the manifestation classes I teach. This is part of the Reimagine Your Life process that I do. This is all part of it, because the emotion is what feeds everything we're doing. and gives us the power to continue on. Because really, when it comes down to it, what we want is to feel a certain way. That can come from what we're doing, how we're living, what kind of job we have, what kind of relationship we have. It can come from all of those things and be a part of it. But really what we're doing is wanting to create more of that emotion, that feeling. Okay, so Reimagine Your Life Retreat, May 29th, 31st in Niagara Falls. Join us. It's all about letting go of what's ever in your way, getting clarity on your ideal life, and then making a plan to get there. I'm doing a Manifest Your Limitless Life workshop in Buffalo, May 9th. That's the title. You get the point. Manifest a Limitless Life. Okay, we're going to be talking about some of these ideas and both of those things and experiencing them. So, related to our emotions, when we think of what we really want in life, okay, our thoughts usually go to doing or getting something in particular, right? Doing or getting something in particular. I want a partner, a house, a job, a car. I want to be an artist. I want whatever, right? We think about those things first. We're human. That's what we do. All of these are very important in our physical lives, of course. But here's the thing, right? Behind all of those desires is an emotion, a feeling that you want. Okay, so if you want a new partner, maybe what you really want is to be adored, or you want love. If you want a job, maybe you're looking for security, that feeling of safety. You could be looking for peace, fun, whatever emotion is behind there. Although you may not yet know how these emotions will show up in your physical life as a job or as a partner. For example, if you know you really want to feel love, okay, love is what you want. You can be deliberate about creating more love in your life for yourself and for others. So if you know you want a certain feeling now, and I'm going to talk about a couple things in a few minutes that will help you even get more clarity on this, right? If you know you want that, this emotion, this feeling, remember the feeling is what you're really looking for. It just shows up in those other aspects of your life. So if you know this aligns your energy, okay? Knowing what feeling you're going for, it aligns your energy with the physical manifestation of it. And I will say that in other words, okay? In other words, when you bring more love into your life, that feeling you want, your energy becomes more loving. And because your energy is more loving, you will attract and create more love in your physical life. See how this works? It's really so simple. But I don't know about you guys. I was not taught this years ago. I have learned this. Spirit has told me these things. I've experienced them. This is amazing. So focusing on the emotion you really want helps with everything else. Everything that you might want. And we go so in depth in my Manifest the Limitless Life class, and even more so in the Reimagine Your Life workshop, because we're going to get rid of the stuff that's in your way, right? We want to let it go. We're going to let it go. So definitely my website's ColleenVanderzyden.com. Feel free to check it out, especially the retreat. Early bird order. I saw your word order there, Mindy. Early bird pricing for my retreat is April 29th, okay? Early bird registration pricing and early bird significantly discounted hotel rooms is also April 29th. So if you think you want to come to the retreat, sign up for it before April 29th. You don't have to pay the whole registration fee before then. As long as you're paid by the time we have the retreat, you are good with me, okay? So there's that. So we'll have... maybe, I don't know if Ashley's still here. She can post a link as well, but you can just go to my website, ColleenVanderzyden.com. Reimagine Your Life Retreat. We're in Niagara Falls, New York. Going to be so much fun. So anyway, focusing on the emotions helps. Now, I've got some other ideas to help you get more clarity on what you really want. Okay. My favorite. This is my favorite phrase. To move into limitless thinking with nothing in your way. You absolutely can do whatever you want. No one is stopping you, not even your own doubts, your own thoughts, not doing it. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you this question? You ready? First thing, no thinking. If you could do anything you wanted and know you would succeed, what would you do? What would you do? First thing that pops into your head. Write it down. Okay? Write it down because you want to claim it. We're going to claim it. Write it down. What would you do? Okay, it could be anything. It could be write a book. It could be learn how to garden, learn how to paint. It could be find a partner. It could be divorce my partner. What is the first thing you would do? Years ago, one of my students, many years ago actually, one of my students asked me one day in class, it was a high school student, said, if you could do anything you wanted, what would you do? And out of my mouth came, divorce my husband. I hadn't even thought about it. Whoa, that was craziness. I was like, whoa. You should have seen her. She looked at me, she goes, oh, okay then. Right? But it just came out of my mouth, right? So whatever popped in is the answer here. So this is something you want. This is something you really want. Don't talk yourself out of it. You're going to go after it. You're going to use it as a goal and a dream. Now, here's a variation on that same statement for those of you who are interested in self-growth, being the best version of yourself. Okay. Let's see. I'm just checking, make sure I haven't missed anything. Paul is so excited for the retreat. It's going to be so much fun. I've got some really cool stuff planned. Paintings, travel the world, because I can't even leave the USA, but you will be able to eventually here. Nice to see you, Sylvia. So here's the variation on that same thing. If you could be anyone you wanted, who would you be? Be anyone you wanted. Who would you be? We usually, most of us, not all of us, but most of us usually have somebody we admire, somebody we think, wow, I'd like to be like that person. I'd like to do this. It could be a legit person like your mother for that matter, or it could be a movie star. And then what you want to do is ask yourself, what qualities do they have? What kind of person are they? What do you think they're like? Why do you want to be like them? Because if you want to be like them, you already have those qualities in yourself. You are already that. You just want to bring it out more so you can see it in yourself. So these qualities are already within you, and then you can focus on being them. And a variation on that question, if you could be anybody you wanted, who would you be, is also, for me, when I think about that, who would I want to be? I want to live as my soul. I want to live as my true self. I want to be in that power, that flow, the ultimate trust. I want that, right? So that's what I want out of who I want to be. And it's fun to think about these kind of questions. Let's see. Jan says, the retreat is life-changing, fun, free toolkit, great soul, family, and swag. I shop for this retreat, everybody. I shop. I just like buying stuff for my people. So we have lots of fun there. Sylvia, I want to be me, she says. Dale, be my astral self. He's a player. Okay, now, so think about those questions. That can help you figure out what you really want out of life. What do you really, really want? In trying, backtracking for just a sec. Sometimes when we think about what we really want in life, we are, again, focused on the external. Sometimes we have too many things we're interested in. We don't have literally enough physical time to do these things. So the energy of today, the current energy that's been going on for a bit of time, is for us to simplify and prioritize our lives, to prioritize how we are living our lives. What is it we really want out of this life, and then go and get it. This is the energy we have now. Okay, we can't go after 30 things. It's too much, right? So I like to say 2 or 3. 1, a business goal or something like that. 1, a personal goal. And I always like the self-growth goal myself. You do whatever you want to your life, right? Do whatever you want. So this is a really good time. And the energy this week in particular is all about getting clarity on what kind of life you want to have, who you want to be, what is most important to you. And this is part of the reason Spirit told me to talk about this tonight. Okay, now another thing, going back to my thoughts. In trying to figure out what you really want, we usually know what we don't want, don't we? I don't want this. So in trying to figure it out, do the opposite. right? If you want this, if you don't want this, what's the opposite? And you want to be specific, and you want to include how you feel and what that would look like. So if you don't like arguing, conflict, fighting in the family, what do you want then? You want peace, harmony, kindness, people who get along with each other, people who are like-minded, like you. If you don't want a house with lots of neighbors, you're feels too close to you, that means obviously you want a house with space around it. See, it's very simple to do, and I had to put easy examples in my thoughts, right? The house is too close, I need more space. You don't want stress. What do you want? Peace, clarity, calm, relaxation. You don't like your job. Okay, now you have to be a little bit more specific. Why don't you like your job? What is it about your job you don't like? Because frequently when we start looking at what we don't like in the job, it's usually one or two things, and we've actually made it so big, we've made it into the whole job, when it might just be the person sitting next to you, or your boss is not quite the person you like, or whatever. So you've got to figure out exactly what you don't like, and then do the opposite. You can do a fun mindset game where you retrain yourself away from focusing on what you don't want, and you'll know you don't want it because you're complaining about it, and to change your mind to focus on what you do want. As soon as you notice you're complaining about what you don't want, switch it up and intend to bring in more of what you do want. For those of you who know the backwards approach, this is another variation of that. Okay, so those can be quite helpful if you're struggling with what you do or don't want, etc. Trying to figure it out. Now, what do you really want? To get more clarity, ask yourself, similarly to what I just said a few minutes ago, what is most important to you? Start thinking about how you want to spend your time and who you want to give your time to. When you look at your life, what do you want more of? Family connections, fun, gardening, creative time. You notice everything I mentioned, not one of them was work. And that doesn't mean you can't want work, of course. I like working myself, right? But sometimes we're not balanced. Sometimes we spend so much time on work that we forget to do the other parts. What's most important? So when you're trying to decide what you really want, think about this. Now, back to what I mentioned a few minutes ago about how the energy of today is all about simplifying and prioritizing. We can't do everything. So what is truly most important? If you're on my mailing list today, I sent out my Intention Tuesday email. Missed last week because I was in the emergency room during that time. But I was talking about my kidney stones. That came last week on Tuesday. And how, when it comes down to it, when something happens in our lives, so like I couldn't do anything, right? I was in pain, etc. So it comes down to it, what is absolutely necessary? What is it that I have to do? And so many times we look at our lives and we go, you know what? If something really horrible happened in your family and you needed to go help somebody really quickly or something, it's amazing how many things we can drop and not do. And go, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. Because immediately you know what's most important. And I'm not wishing that on anyone, but it is important for us to recognize, okay, what is it I really want? What is most important to me? And doing it that way. Lisa read my email, which was embrace the pause. Yes, we embrace the pause. Okay. Now, here's another thought. If you have a fear of making the wrong choice, okay, you're kind of paralyzed, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, too many options, whatever. This will help. What I'm going to say now, keep an open mind. You can have an idea of what you want, and you can always change your mind as new information appears. So you can say, this is what I really want, whatever it might be. Okay. And let's try this one. Say you decide you really want to be a painter. You want to be an artistic painter. And so you start working toward that goal, that dream. You're taking lessons and everything. And as you're doing this, you realize that the painting isn't so much fun as it is drawing. You really like the drawing part instead. So you can change your mind and go down the drawing path instead of the painting path. Okay, or maybe you do some kind of crafting thing or something and you think, oh, I really like doing this instead. So your decision is not permanent. You can always change your mind. Or sometimes we think we want something and maybe it doesn't work out. And so we discover something else along the way that we enjoy. And it's okay to go in a new direction. Or sometimes we get what we want and then we realize we really don't want it after all. And that's okay. Our humanness wants to judge us. Well, I should have known better. I can't believe I did that. I knew I wasn't going to like it and I did it anyway. And we judge ourselves and we criticize ourselves. Instead, we want to go, okay, now I know. I tried it out. I thought I want it, but I don't really want it. And that's okay because now I have this information. I'm going to go in a different direction. So you see, so much of what happens is we start criticizing and judging ourselves. That is not what we want to do, especially if we're going to live as our souls, live in our truth, be our true selves. We want to go, okay, I'm just learning and growing. That's what's happening. So if you have a fear of making the wrong choice, let that go, because it is very rare that choices are permanent, that what you want is the wrong answer. I believe nothing is the wrong answer, because I believe if a mistake happens or something didn't work out the way I thought, it's taught me something and it is setting me up for the next thing that I'm going to do, going to learn, going to experience. Okay, so I don't believe in wrong choices. Okay, again, so many choices are not permanent and we can always change our mind. Greg likes to say, nothing a U-turn can't fix. Okay, now we've talked about some ideas, some thoughts. So moving forward, okay, what do you really want? How are you going to get there? How are you going to bring it into your physical life? How are you going to do whatever you got to do to connect with yourself, believe in yourself? So some things just to remember. We want you to be able to go for it. You want to be intentional. Okay. If you're not sure what you really want yet, you're really not. You're like, I really don't know. And think about that idea I said that maybe you do know, you just don't want to do it, or you don't want to admit it, or you don't want to accept it. Okay, so think about that, because that's frequently true. Just trust that what you want is going to come to you. Our humanness, we want it now. We want somebody to tell us what to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and instead you're just going to trust. And instead, what you're also going to do is you're going to create more of the feeling that you want. What feeling do you want? How do you want to feel? Let me say it 3 times. Okay, now, if you're feeling stuck, step back from the noise and go within, right? You're stuck because you're thinking, I don't know what's next. I don't know what I really want. I thought I knew what I want, but it's not working. And we're doing that back and forth thing again. We're going to stop that and we're going to step back and we're going to ask ourselves, what do I really want? What do I really want? What does my soul want? Not what does these people over there want me to want? Not what society wants me to want. What do I want? What do I want? And if you start to talk yourself out of it, you'll know this because you'll do, I really want this, but I can't, because. If you hear yourself say, I want this, but, that's a sign you're talking yourself out of it. You're not believing yourself. You're not listening to yourself. Listen to yourself and go, I believe in myself. Instead, remind yourself that you are limitless. And your soul knows what it's doing. Trust your soul. Let your soul do the work. Don't you do the work. Let your soul do the work. And you just ride along and have a good time with it. It'll be so much fun. Now, along with this, of course, a lot of this, our problems, if you will, our blocks, the things that get in our way, are our own limiting self-beliefs. Okay, remember, this programming conditioning was imposed upon you. You did not create them. You may have amplified them without intention or awareness, but you did not create them. Somebody else created them. Okay, so you'll have to look at your own limiting self-beliefs, to learn how to let go of those things, how to transform them, how to really start to look at yourself and go, you know what? I am okay. I'm a good person. I'm doing the best I can. Give yourself positive reinforcement, if you will. Learn to believe in yourself, to know that you are worthy and deserving. And this is so much of what I do in all of my work. I mean, all of my work. And if you are just joining in, I am Colleen Vanderzyden. My book, Courageously You, has lots of things in there to help people become their true selves. Lots of strategies to help you handle the crap that is in life. Lots of strategies to help you let go of those limiting self-beliefs. When I do my retreat, the Reimagine Your Life retreat, the title alone tells you, right? Reimagine your life. If your life is perfect and you don't want to change anything, If it's wonderful and you say to yourself, you know what, my life is great, I don't need anything, then yay, amen, praise God, how wonderful. If your life is less than that, it's not as perfect as you want, or maybe you want more out of life. I always say all the time, I'm a big more person. I want more. I want more peace, more joy, more fun, more friends, more time with my family. I want more of those things, right? So even though I would say my life is pretty good, I still want more. I still want to reimagine my life and make it even better. So even if my life is great, it can be even better. Can you imagine getting into that flow of limitlessness and being able to manifest whatever you want? That's what we can do. We can do this. We can manifest anything we want. It's truly amazing. When we're in the power of our true selves, this is what happens. We can manifest. We can live this life. If you want a little guidance on that, because I've been studying this stuff for over, a really long time, like over 25 years. These are the things I do in my Reimagine Your Life retreat. And oh my God, it's so much fun. I can't tell you guys. It's so much fun as we're getting rid of some of these blocks that we have. Right? I wish somebody had helped me with this about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. If I had been able to get rid of some of this stuff earlier, it could have really changed some things. But I also believe in divine order, and you learn what you're supposed to learn when you're supposed to learn it. And so I did, and that's the way it is. So join us there, Reimagine Your Life in Niagara Falls. Now, if you're not over here on my page, Colleen Vanderzyden, Medium and Empowerment Coach, come on over here. If you think you are interested in, if you have any questions about what I've talked about, or questions about your own life, personal guidance, you're looking for some suggestions on how to handle a certain situation, my guide, he is always here and loves to help out. And or if you want a mini soul reading, you can pop over here, and all you got to do, this is how you do it. You got to say something to catch my attention. Okay, so say something like, not just I'd like a soul reading, but something else, something a little more creative than that. Okay, and in the meantime, I'm going to look back up here because I'm quite sure I missed some comments earlier. Colleen, I'm working on following my intuition. I have a tendency to not listen at times. I think we've all been there. Thank you, Jan. I'm grateful I feel well enough to guide you tonight as well. I'm glad you needed it as well. Sylvia wants to do painting. Yay. We have so much fun. And yesterday I felt so good that I was like, I bet you the spirits will help me do my show tomorrow night. And they are. I'm feeling great right now. I'm feeling great. Kara says, see, this is how you do it, you guys. Follow Kara's lead. My soul is tired, overwhelmed between relationship and work struggles. I've been manifesting, journaling, and created a vision board to try to gain focus. Any guidance would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Hi, Kara. Nice to see you again. Yes, and here's the thing. This is for everybody, and then I'll give you some specific stuff. Everybody. As I said earlier, the energy is, I've been saying this for months, just for months. One of these days I'm going to say to you guys, hey, the energy is so clean and clear. Don't you feel great? And you'll all go, yes. I don't know what day that will be, but someday. The energy right now is clearing us out. It's trying to force us, if you will, to get rid of the stuff we don't need. That's what's happening right now. Right now. So when Kara says, my soul is tired, she doesn't mean literally that her soul is tired. It means that she's tired. Okay. Her soul, our souls are perfect. They're all cool and great and powerful and loving and strong and all that stuff. But see what happens, right? And here's a perfect example. Overwhelmed between relationship and work struggles. And that's what's happening with so many people. We're overwhelmed with lots of stuff. There's stuff happening, right? And it's perfectly normal. So I just want to reassure you, Kara, you are normal. You're good. Okay. So don't think you're doing anything wrong or anything like that. This is also the time of great healing. Okay, we're letting go, we're healing, we're simplifying. So, Kara, couple things. What you're doing is excellent. Manifesting, journaling is great, everybody, because it helps us get stuff out, right? It gets our thoughts out and everything. Creating a vision board helps us because we get more clear on what we're looking for and what it looks like, okay? I might suggest, Kara, that you try sitting or walking, Okay. Sometimes when I do meditation things, I'm like, you can either do it walking or sitting, depending on what kind of thing. And spending some time focused on, and you've probably heard me say this before, Kara, the light. Focus on the light. Okay. So everybody, what I mean by the light is I mean the love that is out there, the kindness, the literal light. Okay. We can visualize literal light coming from the heavens, from the universe. We can visualize that if we want to. We can feel it. We can imagine it. We can sense it. The reason I have been emphasizing the light so much over the past year is that this is the energy we are moving into. We are moving into the energy of love and light. And I know that is so cliche these days in the metaphysical field, but it's literal though. We are moving into this energy. In the light energy, our vibration raises. We literally feel lighter. We are more positive. We're more hopeful. We have the love. We can handle whatever's happening. It's easier to let things go as well. So I suggest visualizing being in that light, imagining what would it feel like if we were in that light, right? Oh, it would be amazing, right? We might, even some of you right now, I know are feeling tingles when I said that. Are you feeling the tingles? Can you feel it? So when we envision, feel, sense, even think about the light, sometimes our energy picks up on it immediately because we are that. So I would suggest doing that because that's going to help with the healing. That is going to help you with getting clarity and recognize what is most important. And what is most important for you, Kara, is being centered and grounded in yourself. Okay? Centered and grounded in yourself. Also, one more thing that might help, and then I'll stop talking to you. One more thing that might help is to recognize that everything you're experiencing is helping you get back to your truth, to your soul, okay, to your light. Okay. Now, you'll all notice, everybody, thank you, Kara. That was so helpful. Everybody noticed that what I said to Kara applies to probably a lot of us, right? Get back in the light. Feel it, sense it. Bring in. If you've been feeling like you need to run away or you want to hide in your house, this is a sign you need to bring your energy back, get back into your body, get back into your energy flow. Okay. And it's okay to hide out in your house a little bit if you need to hide out in your house a little bit to rebuild and recharge that energy. Right? Okay, Amy, I recently went through an unexpected breakup. I now feel my life is in a major shift. I'm questioning my career as well. Any messages, right? Number one, I'm sorry you've gone through this unexpected breakup. That is really hard. And you are correct in that your life is in a major shift. You are correct about that. The nice thing about a major shift is it does become a lot easier to prioritize what really is most important to us. It really does. Be careful about questioning your career at this point, because if you went through an unexpected breakup, you're not exactly centered and grounded. Okay, so you're not in your body fully, you're not in your energy fully, and you don't want to do anything drastic, and I know you wouldn't. And sometimes when we have a major breakup, it affects so much of our lives, right? Because it affects who we were. It affects who we thought we were becoming. It affects everything we're doing right now. And because of that, your mind will start going, oh, well, maybe this should change too, and that should change too, and that should change too. And no, not now. No. One change at a time. One change at a time. So all you're going to do is very similarly to what I said to Kara. Focus on the light, get centered and grounded. Definitely. It's going to be the answer for everybody, I think, tonight. But there's always more, right? And know that your energy, oh boy, it's amazing. That, you know how I mentioned earlier about letting go of what we no longer need? Okay, you're letting go of energies that you just don't need anymore. Okay, and it's not just from the breakup, but other things will shift as well. And that's fine to do. Amy, for you, I'd like to see you, and I'm speaking for my guide, I'd like to see you outside as much as possible. Okay, literally in nature, whether walking, sitting by water, gardening, whatever. I want you outside as much as possible. Very healing for you. I can also tell you that the healing you're going to have is going to be accelerated. So you are not going to be stuck in this state, for a very long time. I feel like the cleansing is just happening so quickly. So just allow it to happen. Okay. And all you have to do is allow it to happen. When you're out in nature, it makes a huge difference. So don't get caught in your head. You know how our head goes, oh, well, this, and we replay and we try to change things and we beat ourselves up. And if you catch yourself doing that, just say, I trust that everything is going to work as it should. Say something like that. I trust everything is going to work as it should. I embrace who I am. I love myself. All of these intentions can be very helpful. I love myself. I am healing. I am whole. All of those. Yeah. So don't get too far into that career questioning. My guide and my stomach don't like that idea. So don't do that. Maybe later. Not now. No, don't do that. Yes. Just a reminder. I'm going to tell you again. The healing is going to be accelerated. It's going to be faster than you think. So you'll be okay sooner than you think. That's always good, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thanks, Amy. Lori, my card pull the other day said I was missing a red flag. Ooh, interesting. What does my soul want me to know that I am missing? Okay, Lori, I am not feeling a red flag with you. I'm really not. Let me check in another way and see what else pops up here. Okay, this is what I'm getting, okay? I'm getting that you're on the right track. I'm getting that you have spent quite a bit of time on your self-growth, self-development, returning to yourself, healing, all of those wonderful good things. I know you've spent time on that and you're doing very well. I'm recognizing how much you are talking to the universe, to God, to the angels, all of those. I recognize that. I see a lot of channeling, healing energy coming in for you. The healing energy is not healing because there's something wrong with you. It's more of helping you raise your vibration, that kind of energy. So I'm seeing a lot of that. Okay, now I'm getting something. Hold on. Okay, I want to know if you have somebody near you who, how can I put this? Who you are inside kind of questioning or doubting that what they're saying or doing is true. Okay, because there's a feeling of someone around you where I kind of go, ooh, watch out for that person, because even though the words and the actions are fine, the energy isn't aligning. That's what I'm seeing. The energy isn't aligning. So if you have someone around you where you're kind of going, it's interesting. And it kind of, it's not horrible. Like I don't feel sick or something, but it's more like a little doubt on your part. If you can trust them or if they're telling the truth, honor that. It may be that. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know about that, Lori, and see. You're pretty aware. And you're also really kind. And so sometimes kind people, we talk ourselves out of trusting that little energetic glitchy kind of feel. So if you got that glitchy feel, I've never ever said that glitchy feel with energy together. That's really funny. Anyway, if you get that glitchy feel, take a pause and step back and just kind of trust your energy and keep it close around that person if there is a person such as that. Okay, Dee, thank you. I'm glad I'm feeling better too, Julie. I am feeling better. Thank you. You guys are lovely. I can't thank you guys enough for all the energy you guys sent me when I was in the hospital last week. And then I had to go back, and then I had another issue. Oh my gosh. And I even had a tick on my leg while I was in the emergency room. Disgusting. Blah. Anyway. Oh, thank you, Julie. Yeah, it's so interesting, all these things that come in. Terry, any reason why many of us recently have had vivid, uncontrollable dreams? How many people have had some really wild dreams lately? I'd say raise your hand so I could see it, but just maybe write in the comments because I can't see you. Yes, I do have an idea why that is, Terry. because of the energy. Okay. And again, we're back to, remember, simplifying, prioritizing, letting go of stuff. And we are getting messages through dreams. It doesn't mean every dream we have has a message in it. Okay. Sometimes we just have stress processing dreams. Okay. Things that are just, we're just working them out in our heads while we're sleeping. Sometimes we have those. Other times we do have messages. I had the weirdest dream the other day myself where I was talking to somebody. I said, a storm is coming. Look, a storm is coming. And then I looked at this building in front of me, and it was like a Spanish villa or something. And all of a sudden it started kind of doing a tornado circular thing. And then it went back, and it was like, oh, it stopped. And the building went back to what it was to start with. And so, of course, Greg and I are always talking about dream interpretation. And we were like, a storm is coming. We think it's coming. It starts, but it stops. So that was a message, right? So we will have those kinds of things happen sometime. So the big thing is, when you get the dreams, I would suggest writing them down. The energy, again, is chaotic, and that is affecting us. So write them down, because if there are messages in them, make sure you write down how you feel, what happened. Okay. And then you might catch the meaning. That's what I'm trying to say. Whew, got caught up there for a sec. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Nicole, I need guidance through my situation that I have manifested. It came quickly to fruition and I wasn't ready, but here I am. Okay, you guys, I've said this before, but some of you probably haven't heard me because I've said it in different places. We are in a time of high manifestation. It's been going on for a while, like months. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you're manifesting. Make sure it's clear. I will cover this in my Manifest a Limitless Life class on May 9th. It is online and in person in Buffalo. You can find the information on my website, ColleenVanderzyden.com or BeCourageouslyYou.com. Okay, you can find it there. So anyway, manifestation. Okay, so what you want to do, Nicole, you don't have to, you didn't make a mistake. You didn't do anything wrong. All you want to do is you're just going to keep breathing, and you're just going to go through it. Make sure you pause and you ask for guidance. Okay, it's like it came quickly and you weren't quite ready. That's okay, right? You're going to learn a lot. Going to learn a lot. So you're just going to pause. You're going to breathe before you make any decisions. Check in with yourself and make sure it feels right. Make sure they feel right, because when we don't feel ready and something's happened, we can panic a little bit, right? We can panic and go, uh-oh, and then we start questioning, we start doubting. We can't think clearly when we're panicking, questioning, and doubting. So that's why you have to pause, breathe, get back in, and just go, okay, what answer feels like? Okay. If things don't go exactly according to what you thought they were going to go, it's okay. You'll be fine. If things work out better than you thought, it's okay. You'll be fine. So you're just going to trust the process there. Okay. Stepping back, breathing. So important. Melissa, struggling with losing my spiritual soulmate. I am so sad to hear that for you. That is hard. Number one, and I'm not sure why I'm saying this, don't take it personally. I don't know if you think you've done something wrong, or you're doubting yourself, or something. Don't take it personally. People come, people go. Okay? We've got lots of spiritual soulmates that we can have in our lives, and I'm not minimizing the importance of this one, because it is hard, and it's really hard to lose somebody who's important to us. But don't take it personally. Do your best to move into trusting that whatever is happening the way it's supposed to be happening. I know we don't like that answer, do we? No, we don't. We don't like that answer. But there are things in life that we cannot change. There are things in life that are just there. Okay. The other thing to do, Melissa, is to give yourself as much love as possible. What does love look like for you? Treating yourself with love, with kindness. Maybe you need to sit around and do nothing. Maybe you need to distract yourself and go do a bunch of other things. Whatever it looks like, because it's going to change every day, every minute. Whatever love for yourself looks like, it's going to change. So be very kind to yourself. Okay. You are welcome, Kara. Hi, Jeannie. Oh, Nick was your friend and your mentor. Any insight would help. Well, I tell you, he, as you know, has got to be one of the strongest spirits on the other side. So no worries on that one, that he's not going to be hanging out with you. So make sure, again, self-love. And I'll stop there because you know me, I'll just keep going. Heidi, I've been having a lot of business ideas. How do you know if it will take off or if it should go in a different direction? Oh, that's always a hard one, right? Because we want to do what's right. We want to do what other people think that they want, right? If we're going to do a business, right? Will they buy it? Are they interested? And we go back and forth. And that's a tricky one, I'm going to admit, because part of when we're starting a business or we're doing something, even like I do, we're trying to help people. If people don't seem to be interested, we can start to go, oh, we doubt ourselves, doubt what we're doing. And then in some way, if people don't like what we're doing, it kind of hits on our identity, who we are, are we good enough? Hits that not good enough vibe. So this is what I'm going to tell you, Heidi, is don't think about it. I emphasize not thinking a lot tonight. Don't think about it. I want you to literally feel into which one causes you to feel most excited. Don't worry about if it's going to take off. Okay, don't worry about that. Which one excites you the most? And then make the decision to go for that one. And as you're going, you're going to learn more. Okay, you'll learn more about what people are looking for, what you're offering, how it fits, blah, blah, blah. You'll learn more. But if you're excited about doing it, that excitement comes through, the energy works, and the business is much more likely to succeed if you're excited about it. Okay, so feel it. Don't think it. Feel it. Which one makes you, as I like to say for my retreat, the Reimagine Life Retreat, it's create a life you can't wait to wake up to. Okay, right? I want to wake up in the morning excited to start my day, right? Okay, so that's what we do there. And so I want you to have that same feeling. When you wake up in the morning, you're excited to go work on this business, to go create a business plan, to figure out your steps, one little step at a time. That's what you want to do. Find that one will succeed. That was good. My guide was very emphatic with that. Thank you, Joanna. Oh, so Diana, you're in Lilydale. Oh, hey, I'm in. I'll be around tomorrow sometime. I got to go back to the urologist, and I had to have a massage, but I'll be around. So why don't you send me a text or something and see if we can say hi. That would be great. Mother Nature's the best. What time is it? Oh my goodness me. I talked too much again. Amy, I really needed this tonight. I do love nature and outdoors. Good. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad that gave you some clarity and the affirmations are good. I am, most of you may know, really big on intentions. That's why I do an Intention Tuesday email, because the power of our words can change our lives. Speaking of that, don't forget up at the top of this feed here, in the description for this show tonight, I have my free gift for you, The Empowered Path to Inner Peace. So if you're looking for strategies to get back to yourself, to have more peace, even during this chaotic time, you can just click on that link and you get it for free. It's an ebook. It's very helpful. Feel free. Lori, your narcissistic elder sister. Okay, good. Well, not good that you have that, but good that the feeling made sense to you, because I was like, ooh, just be careful around there. That's what it is. Just trust yourself first. Oh dear. Narcissist is really trying to hurt or harm my mom, as I think she is two different people. It feels more like to me like she's just so much about herself. You know how manipulative narcissists can be, that I don't think she's paying attention. Check that one. Okay. Thank you, Diana. Me. What's me? I have. Yes. My dreams are crazy. Oh, the dreams. Oh, sorry. That was so long ago in my mind. Nicole, you're a bit panicked. Yeah, breathe. Good. I'm glad that will help. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet, Lori. Melissa, not sure I'm not taking it personally. Nick, he always said, don't take it personally in context. Interesting, right? Huh, interesting I said that. Don't take it personally. I bet you that was a message from him. Okay, I suppose I should stop talking. It's 9:05, you guys. So thank you again for being here tonight. Thank you again for helping me with my healing. I will let you know my next medical event. Maybe I won't have my next medical event and everything will be well. Cross fingers. Also, I'd like to invite you to join me at the Reimagine Your Life Retreat. Early bird pricing through April 29th. And significantly discounted hotel rooms in Niagara Falls. Like, I still think they made a mistake. Don't tell them, because the price is almost $200 less than it normally is. 200? No, 170 less than it normally is. I'm like, whoa. But anyway, if you want to join us, come join us. Reimagine your life. You ready to reimagine it and make it that life you can't wait to wake up to? That just sounds so fun and amazing and empowering, doesn't it? The life you can't wait to wake up to. Wouldn't it be great to wake up every single day? Imagine that. Just wouldn't it be great to wake up every day and go, I love my life. Even if crap is happening, you can still love your life and reimagine it. Anyway, join me, ColleenVanderzyden.com. If you want me to actually send you a link, just write retreat or something in their comments and I'll send it to you. The other one too, the Manifest Limitless Life class is on May 9th in Buffalo or online. And that will be fun. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your well wishes. Thank you so much for hoping I feel better, because I am right now, and everything is going well, and we're keeping it that way, I've decided. So I will not see you next week, because I am teaching a class for the soul empowerment community. We're doing playing with pendulums, but I will be here probably the week after that. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay, you guys have fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye.